Okay. Good morning. Good morning. All righty. Um, Go ahead. Child's pose. Stretch back. Oh, breathe. This morning. Ooh, it is so gorgeous out there. Since the weather's been getting warmer, right? Oh, go ahead and stretch and wiggle. We'll take a couple minutes to do this. I do have a timer on. You'll hear it buzz. It's okay. And guys, I don't know, for so long I had been getting up and leaving my house by 5:30 in the morning to teach yoga that I just kind of wanted to have my mornings of, studying, sleeping in, studying in bed. I love doing that. And I have done that now for 2 months. And now I'm kind of like, I miss getting up early. So I've been getting up early. So if we may change these to 8 o'clock, and if you want to message me yes or no, um, anyway, just let me know. Downward facing dog. Plant those hands. Walk through your feet. Wiggle through your shoulders. So it's just kind of an up and down motion. I'll turn and face if you want to watch. You want to have them up close and then away, and up close and away. And it really is just, it's not a bend in the elbow at all. It's a shift in those shoulders. Okay. Go ahead and lift one leg up. Open. Yeah. And then second side. Open. Shifting, wiggling. Come back to your knees. Roll through those shoulders. We're going to do some warrior salutes today to help warm up fast. I've got my doors open upstairs. I can feel just the smell of the air outside after the rain last night. Step 1 foot forward. Come forward and back. Oh, yeah. Beautifully done. Pop up, take a twist. So plant the hand. You can totally use a block. Lunge and twist. Work through your shoulders, okay? Warm up is the time to really find what your body is feeling and saying, okay? Maybe you need more stretch in the rib cage. Maybe you need deeper lunges. Maybe you need to come in and out of the lunge for your hamstring, okay? On the ding, we'll switch legs. Forward and back. Ooh, come in, plant, take that twist. Yeah, beautifully done. Arm over the head, arm reaching up. Ooh, roll through your neck. Plant the hand, stretch maybe a little through that hamstring. I promise we'll warm up. Go ahead, downward facing dog. Walk through your feet. Notice we're not totally holding the pose. We're still moving through it, trying to get heels to the floor. Take them wide. Do a little bit of shifting in the hips. Get that inner thigh. Oh, yeah. Bring the knees back to the floor. Just a little bit of cat-cow here, rolling through the shoulders as well. So I had an interesting experience. My dentist called and they were back open, and I had an appointment scheduled. And so they asked if I wanted to come in and, all the guidelines. So I did on Wednesday. And as I walked in the door, my temperature was 99.9. I'm like, I feel fine. So anyway, I've isolated myself at home. Don't have anything. But I can't find a thermometer. My daughter-in-law is bringing one by later today. It's just hilarious because I'm like, I can't even find a thermometer anymore. I just feel fine. I don't feel any different. So anyway, but I'm at home. Go ahead. First leg forward and back and forward and back and forward. Change legs and forward and back and forward and back and forward and back. Take this foot behind you. Yeah, let's get a couple of these stretches in. Plant it, plant the hand, reach up, stretch, open through the body. Oh, shoulders on the back. Oh, yeah. I love this body. Go ahead, second side. I'm turning around. You just do the other. Oh, yeah. Ooh, find just that amazing yumminess, right? Find that stretch. Make your body make those noises, those little squeaks that we love on newborn babies. Why don't we like them so much in us as older bodies? Downward facing dog. We'll hold the down dog for 30 seconds and we'll start our warrior salutes. We'll start with a regular lunge. We'll be going back and forth on the mat. Notice I'm going to the tops of my feet, stretching out the top of my arch, trying to find every body part, tightening the waistline. Inhale, lift that one leg, your right one. Bring it all the way through. If you're facing me live, I will mirror you. If I'm recording, it'll switch me. Go ahead and now stay in the lunge. We've moved back and forth. Bring your hands to your thigh. Come on up. We'll only be here for about 10 seconds. Go ahead and bring this back knee within 6 inches of the heel. Round as tight as you can. Bringing hands to the toes. Forehead to the knee. It's a great round in that back. Curling it. On the ding, we'll take the arms up and do a little mini back bend here. Find that stretch. Celebrate. Ooh, all that marvelous work. Bring the arms up, plant the hand, the heel, and the shin. Lengthen up and take a little back bend. Go as tall as you can, as if someone's got a hold of those wrists and they're lengthening up, 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 and a little back, 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 and stretch and warm up that quadricep. Breathe. Down dog on the ding, right? You can go side to side. There is no reason to hold these. If you feel like moving, plant the hands back to downward facing dog. Inhale. Lift the left leg. Open that hip. Close the hip. Open it and close it. On the ding, you'll step it forward to a lunge. Come in, go ahead and move forward and back. You're in a low lunge. So hands are on the floor. If you can't get hands to the floor, please use a block. Stretching side to side. Moving forward and back. And then hold the lunge. Bring the hands to the thigh. We only have about 10 seconds. Okay, so hold that. Shoulders gonna come up. They can come down. Oh, just feeling that sense, that amazingness. Bring this foot within the knee, within 6 inches round. Maybe that takes you a minute to work down to, right? Stretching, moving, feeling that sensation. Maybe squeezing a little tighter, maybe coming out and coming back in. Okay, pushing into your heel. There's weight. We'll go into a little mini back bend, right? Round through this. Go ahead and bring those arms up. Push down in that right shin. Push down in that left heel. Reach it up. Stretch. Now somebody's got your hands and they're reaching you back, 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 back. Oh, yeah. Maybe move side to side, find a little waistline, downward facing dog on the ding. Yeah, tighten that waistline, downward facing dog. High plank, back to down dog. We should get 5 of these in the ding. Here you go, and back to down dog. Shoulders go wide, elbows stay strong. Back to down dog, that's 3. Here's 4. Yeah. And here's the last one, and we should hear a ding. Yeah, this is how I time myself, guys. Inhale, right leg lifts, open that hip. Oh, if you'd like to, plant the hand, turn the foot, spin all the way over, wild thing. Stretch up, lifting, reaching, and then come all the way back. Within our down dog ding, come into a lunge. Yeah, bring that foot forward. Step down, come all the way up. Use your hands here to make sure that back thigh is lifting, to make sure this front thigh and the foot, and then slowly, you give yourself about 15 seconds up in this lunge. Maybe you goalpost those elbows, okay? Maybe you reach really tight and do some side bends, okay? At the ding, the knee is coming to the ankle or to the heel. Not close, close, but not touching. Round again. Ooh, notice this time. It's a little different stretch every time. Forehead to the knee if you can. If not, I have to move mine away to talk. And you'll see, you can hear me already starting to get gaspy as I teach, because I usually don't do the whole class with you. Ooh, you might want to take a twist here. Downward facing, oh no, come up, sorry. Got ahead of myself. Push down into the heel, into the shin. Reach up, take that back bend. Oh yeah. Ooh, yeah, maybe a little bit more of a lean, and you find that quadricep just stretching, breathing, downward facing dog on the ding. Plant those hands, and back you go. Oh, yeah. Inhale. Ooh, I'm not going to be able to do this. I have to move over. Go ahead and open the hip. Close the hip. Reach, make sure you have space. If you plant the hand, spin the heel, and drop into wild thing. Oh, yes! Open it up. Bend slightly elbows. Just feel that body and what it can do. Downward facing dog. Come all the way back. Lunge on the other side. Bring the hands to the thigh. Pause here for a moment. Right? Feel the back thigh lifting. The heel going right over the toes, right? The thigh coming down. And then lift the arms. Take a little back bend. Oh, yeah. Knee comes close to the heel. I call these warrior salutes. Reach and stretch. Finding the waistline, the rib cage, bending. Ooh, this is a deep bend. On the ding, a back bend. Oh, yeah. Make sure you're breathing. Inhale, exhale, heel down, shin down. You feel a little lopsided, it's okay. Reach down, reach up, lengthen, and then maybe take a lean back by pushing into that front heel. Oh, yeah, that quadricep gets some work here on the ding down dog. Woo, baby. I can feel it start to burn. Yeah, plant those hands. Downward facing dog. Feel pretty warm. Isn't that amazing? High plank. Hold. Yeah, 10 seconds. That's all. Lower down. Hold your chaturanga. You can bring your knees to the floor. Hold for 10 seconds. Bring the hips all the way down. Remove the block. Low cobra or sphinx pose. Beautifully done. Nice job. Breathing deeply. Inhale and exhale. Staying in this sphinx pose. Elbows are right below the shoulders. Forearms are on the floor. Breathing deeply. Reaching through those feet. Nice work. Oh, sorry, Instagram and Facebook. I have no head. Oh, but the YouTube video shows all of it, so it's kind of nicer. Go ahead and take the elbows wide. Turn the head to one side. You've got about 20 seconds. Take some deep breaths, and then we're going to come to our hands and our knees and to a forward fold at the front of our mat. Take some deep breaths. Notice. Here we go. Plant those hands. Come through your hands and your knees. Slowly walk your feet to your hands. Bend. Okay, we're going to stay here another 30 seconds after. Okay, so wiggle. Take your time here. Okay, maybe. Okay, we're just going to talk alignment here. We want the sit bones higher than the low back. So if you're here, okay, that isn't higher, right? And so what we're looking for is a bend in the knees, right? That will let you stick that up higher. Maybe you have to come here with your hands on your thighs. That's a great forward fold. Make sure that the weight is on both sides of the feet, not just the outside edge, the inside edge too. Breathe and just fold. We'll come to standing on the boom. Can you believe that? Inhale, stretch up. One of the ways I use it, go ahead and just kind of wiggle here. I use the timer to kind of talk through so that I can actually in class when I'm teaching, I can, this is how much time I have to say stuff, right? In between holding poses. Go ahead and come up and over to your side. Oh yeah. And come back and come up over to the other side. Come forward, interlace fingers, stretch. So you're in a curl, okay? You're not really tucking your tailbone under. You're still reaching with your thighs, but you're rounding. And slowly go a little lower and a little lower. You'll have about 10 seconds in that forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold. Come all the way to standing. Stretch and reach. Thighs pull back. Waistline pulls back, right? Knees don't knock, so those shins are reaching forward. So those of you that have been in class, even though it's been a while, February, yeah, it seems like forever ago. Shins reach forward. Thighs reach back. The only thing reaching forward, my toes, my shins, my chest. Everything else, I've got this sense of pulling back. My ears, the back of my head, my shoulders, my rib cage, my waistline, okay? My thighs. Stretch and reach. Beautifully done, okay? On the ding, a standing back bend. Very gently, okay? So keeping all of those things pulling forward, shins, toes, chest, everything else pulling back, just open your heart. Let the shoulders come on. You may have to pull the arms down if the shoulders are crazy bugging you, or goalpost them, or maybe your neck is and you put your hands behind. So you got your chest, your shin, your toes reaching forward. Tighten the waistline, tighten the rib cage. Beautifully done. Take a forward fold. And hold. Feel how good a forward fold feels after that back bend. Walk through the feet. Inhale, come halfway up. Reaching thighs back, yes? Reaching shins forward, reaching toes forward. This is kind of standard, but we want to really have that down, okay? Go ahead, come to a forward fold, another 30 seconds. You're going to think, I just need to look at my notes. Hence, I've got you in a forward fold. We're going to step the left foot back, coming into a Trikonasana, triangle pose. Okay, both legs straight. Again, the knees don't lock. Plant the hand and slowly open this up. You're looking for a long line from the pelvic area through the head. You can totally mandalay this arm if you still want to use that arm. Totally go both directions. Yeah. And then see if you can put zero weight on that bottom and just hold. Turn both the heel, your body. It's a Parsvottanasana, a pyramid pose. Reach the heel towards the floor. Toes are, our knees are not locking. Reaching, trying to lengthen your spine, trying to square the hips. A ton of work on the front thigh. Reach and stretch. On the ding, you're going to forward fold it. You don't have much time. Just calm down. Now, if you need blocks, totally doable here, right? Totally hands on thighs if you need to be up higher. From here, we're going into a wide-angled forward fold. Inhale, go ahead and come part way up. Ooh, and fold that down. You got it. All 10 toes towards the long edge of your mat. Go ahead and wiggle. We're going to actually stay here for another 30 seconds, so a whole minute. Go side to side, opening those hips, bending those knees. That feels fantastic. You are using a block if you need to, right? And we're going to turn and do a forward fold at the other end of the mat. So we're changing directions. Go ahead and step. Oh no, I lied. We're holding it. Sorry. This is such a great stretch. You have a couple options. You can forward fold here. You can come lengthen and feel the stretch. You can turn the heels in and get a goddess pose. Okay, so take your time. You've got about 10 more seconds. And then on the ding, we will turn and forward fold on the other side and just repeat everything on the other side. So turn, step, forward fold. You may come up, you may be here. Maybe your forward fold is here to be able to get that low back flat. Okay, fold it in and down. On the ding, all the way to standing. Maybe you come halfway up and come back in. Come all the way up to standing. Stretch and reach. What reaches forward? Shins, big toes or all the toes, and heart. Everything else reaches. Go ahead, I'll turn and face, but go just do some side bends here. Oh, come on up and reach the other way. You can totally bring a hand down, right? Then come all the way up and bring a hand down the other side on the ding. A back bend. Okay, knee, shins, toes, chest, everything else is pulling back. Feel the weight shift into your heels and reach your chest up. Again, if you need to move those shoulders, please do so. But you're creating a back bend. On the ding, a forward fold. Take that forward fold. Come halfway up. Find that back and curl. Maybe all you can curl down is just a little bit because you're keeping that little dip in your low back. Beautifully done. On the ding, downward facing dog. No, I lied. On the ding, you're going to step back with your right foot. Triangle pose. Come in. Notice I'm taking some time. I have it to come in and then stretch long. I want to make sure my feet, my foundation, and then my legs and everything is working the way I want it to work. Okay, this isn't a practice where you just go quick, 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 quick. You can once your body starts to understand where it needs to go. Since we mandalated the arm last time, let's do it again. It's okay that the big thing is right there. Reach here. Maybe hardly any weight. Turn all 10 toes forward. Take a forward fold. Little shifting in your hips here. Just move them side to side. It's an inner thigh stretch. Downward facing dog on the ding, facing the other direction. Plant those hands. Downward facing dog. We're going to add the whole thing together, okay? So go ahead and do a high plank. Do a chaturanga. Do an up dog or a low cobra. And back to down dog. Hey, we got that all in. Right leg lifts on the ding. Inhale, take it up. Open the hip if you'd like to. Spin the heel. Plant the foot. Wild thing. Opening through that heart. Reaching, lifting, stretching, using weight into the feet. Breathe. If you can hold it for 30 seconds, great. If not, come out. Reach and stretch and breathe. Strengthening the body. Downward facing dog. Three-legged. One leg is lifted. Bring that leg all the way through. Come into that lunge. Oh yeah. Both hands on the floor. Back thigh is lifting. That heel is reaching. Okay, so this front shin is still reaching forward. Breathing deeply. Bring both hands on the inside. Walk that right foot a little wider. And just hold this. Low lunge. Beautifully done. Bring the knee down. Stretch it back. Toe lifts. Hands are as long as you can create them. If you need to move them back a little, that's fine. Okay, but you're reaching and stretching through the hamstring. Push down into the heel. Shin is lifting up. And we're pulling that hip back away while we're pushing forward with the ball of the foot for this fabulous leg of that hamstring. Come back into the lunge. Pick up the back leg. Plant that left hand and open to a twist. Hand behind the head. Maybe a little back bend here. Downward facing dog and a vinyasa for 30 seconds. I'll walk you through it. Plant those hands. Downward facing dog. Breathe. High plank and hold. Slowly lower to your chaturanga. Knees, hips, curl it open to your upward facing dog. Lift the hips first. The rear end comes up first. High plank, down dog. Beautifully done. Inhale, lift that left leg. Open the hip. Spin the right heel. Plant the right hand. Wild thing on the other side. And open it up. You only have about 15 seconds, really. Hold it. Open, stretch. Oh my gosh, make sure this elbow doesn't lock, right? Little bend in that supporting arm. Open through the heart. Yes. Come all the way back around. Three-legged down dog. Bring that leg through. Regular lunge, okay? Don't come both hands on the inside to start. It's just a regular low lunge. Stand and reach, and then go ahead and bring the hands in and hold. You're lifting that back thigh. This front shin is reaching forward. I'm playing tug of war with my shoulder and my knee. They're pushing into each other, right? And then all that work still happens as the knee comes down and you reach back and lift the toes. Pushing the foot forward, shin reaches up, pull the hips back. Finding that length in the spine, in my hamstring. With the ding, we'll go back in and do another vinyasa. Plant those hands, downward facing dog. High plank. Hold. Chaturanga. Hold. Upward facing dog or low cobra. Hold. Downward facing dog. Hold. On the ding, child's pose. Bring the knees down and stretch it back. And breathe. Beautifully done. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of a standing sequence. Oh, I can't. Hang on, I'm going to check the time. All my devices are up here. Okay. It's really only 8:35. Oh my gosh, you guys. You are working so hard and fast today. Awesome, awesome. Eric, I hope you're on the mat and not just watching. Stretch it back. Oh, shift those hips. Side to side. Come all the way up. So with this COVID, I'm getting hot. I've got a belly. It's not very fun. So I've got to tuck in. Stuff keeps rolling down. Okay, we got a little bit of a rest. Okay, standing work, downward facing dog. Go ahead and take a vinyasa if you want. If you're getting tired, you can stop, but it's high plank. It's chaturanga. It's an upward facing dog. It's downward facing dog. On the ding, right leg lifts. You notice I don't hold still very well. Open the hip, close the hip, bring that knee all the way through. Parsva Konasana, spin the back heel, you're in a lunge. Your forearm can come here, or you can keep the hand on the floor. You're going for length. Top of the head and left hand reach, thigh reaches back, shin reaches forward. I'm going for the length and I'm holding it. Breathe and stretch. Beautiful work. Triangle pose. We've already been here. This time we straighten both legs. Hips go back. There's a thigh, inner thigh pulling back. There's hardly any weight here. Reach. You can change your gaze. Beautiful work. We're going to reverse the triangle. Come all the way up. Reach. Both legs stay straight. Nothing really changes. I'm just going backwards. Revolving the triangle. From here, I'm going to a warrior one, which means my hips are shifting towards the front edge of the mat. Feel how much this thigh, this knee wants to lock. I have to keep a micro bend in them. Find that stretch and reach. Maybe you go a little further. Come up. This foot will have to step forward and out to the side a little bit, squaring the hips. I come in like this, and then I come into that lunge and try to lift my body straight up. Right? Okay. Check that your foot and your knee are both going straight forward, right? From here, we're going into a revolved triangle pose. Come all the way in, straighten this leg. The feet kind of stay the same. This one can come up a little bit and move a little forward. Come down, use a block if you need it. Squaring the hips, reach up and lengthen from the sit bone through the crown of the head. Now, if you happen to be able to twist that body, then that top arm can come up. Breathe. Beautifully done. All 10 toes face forward. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold it in. Head can come wherever it can come, lifting those sit bones. And again, it's a forward fold. That means the sit bones have to be higher than the low back. You might not be able to get there. Come up until you can. That's the way to honor your body. On the ding, we're holding goddess pose for 30 seconds. So turn the heels in, shins out. Come in, goddess pose. Notice I came into that one pretty quick. We didn't really take a lot of time getting into it. Okay, from your feet, I'd like you to feel like you're hugging all the way up through the crown of your head, right? That action is happening. Your shins are going that way, which means the thighs are trying to come down. But if I just say bring the thighs down, we forget all that upward motion. Okay, beautifully done. Downward facing dog. Sorry, couldn't get my mouth to say it. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Curl it open. Beautifully done. Downward facing dog. Take some breaths. Inhale, you'll lift the left leg. It goes up. You open the hip. You close it. You bring it all the way through. Parsvakonasana. Spin the back heel. Hand on the floor. Lengthen up and reach. Yeah, one long line of energy. Everything from the waistline is going that direction. Everything from the waistline is going back. And we find ourselves splitting in two and we're holding that. Trikonasana pose. Straighten out. Come in. Reach up. Do you know what? I'm just thinking to myself and feeling, I love this early morning yoga. I think we'll probably move it to earlier. It'll be still available on YouTube, guys, at any time. On the ding, we're going to reverse this. Beautiful work. Come all the way up. Both legs stay straight. You try to come, but you're still pulling that inner thigh back, right? And reverse it back. Yes, my body just needed a couple of months to be okay with not having to get up early. Something in my brain just thought it was so awful that I just had to get up. Whoa! Warrior one, swing the hips. This back foot steps a little bit forward and out to the side, right? Revolve the triangle. Totally use a block if you need to. Hand can be on the foot. Lengthen through the body and take the twist. The last thing to go up is the arm. Only if you've got the shoulder over the other shoulder. Reach. And then change your gaze. To help yourself fall over. Do you know what we didn't do? We didn't do warrior one. So come back in and do warrior one. I got talking and laughing. And come into that lunge. Oh, I kind of like that a little better. We might have to change that sequence a little. Stretch up, right? Hips squaring to the front. I always come in with a straight leg and find this back leg first because the knee loves to lock there. Reach it up. Beautifully done. All 10 toes face forward. Take a forward fold. Go ahead and walk your hands out. Come back. We're going to hold this for a minute. We'll have another ding. Okay. Bend your knees if you need to. Your sit bones are higher than your low back. This is hamstring and inner thigh work. Lengthen through your body. Notice the shoulders up by the ears. See if you can pull them away from the ears, giving yourself plenty of space in the neck. Another 30 seconds here. Breathing deeply. Stretching and reaching. Go ahead and walk your hands in. You're still doing the stretch and reach, but let your hips come behind the heels. So it's almost like you've taken the weight in the heels and you can actually lift your toes up. And then shift back to where your weight is equal on the toes and the heel. And then find equal on the inner and outer. Okay, hugging from in and out. I lied. We get another 30 seconds here. Take some deep breaths. Lengthen through the body. Crown of the head reaches. Stretching in both directions, finding that amazingness. Turn the heels in, toes out, come into your goddess pose. Wiggle for a moment here, just coming up and down. You're kind of creating a smile with your hips. And then come in and here. Now, while you're here, you can actually be in all that energy, hugging up, coming down a little deeper, trying to get the chest upright. It's a lot of work. Downward facing dog. And vinyasa. Hold high plank. Chaturanga. Up dog. Bend those elbows, reach the chest forward. Downward facing dog. Bring your knees to the floor and take a little bit of a break. Child's pose. So we're going to do a kind of a wave of back bends on our bellies, on the mats. It's fabulous work for our backs, for all of our body, okay? We're going to start with Sphinx. Now, we've already been here once to warm up, and we're going to try and hold these for, 30 seconds. If your low back is killing you, grab a block. You need a block. I've still got some. Okay. Squeeze that block between your thighs. That will help you remember to use your legs. Okay, feet, ankles aren't sickling. My toes aren't pointing towards each other. I'm right up on the tops of my feet. Okay, I'm holding that and squeezing that. I'm going to pick up my body and try to move it forward. Okay, you'll feel the stretch in your waistline. Sphinx pose, elbows right below the shoulders. Heart melts, shoulders are wide, palms are flat. And hold. Here we go. My chest is reaching forward. My shoulders are reaching back. My head can be right here in line with my neck, or I can actually round that up a little, okay? You have to notice the voice. If you round it up a little and your voice changes pitch, you've gone too far. So you kind of gotta go la, 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 la. I'm pulling back with my shoulders, back with my back, reaching forward with the heart, okay? Go ahead and come down. Breathe and take a break. It'll only take about a 15-second break, and then we'll work ourselves into a rising Sphinx. Okay. Come back up. Rising Sphinx. Set it up exactly the same way, lengthening forward, and then you're going to push into your hands and lift your elbows just the tiniest little bit. On the ding, we'll hold it for 30 seconds. Okay. So reaching my chest, my hands are pulling backwards. My chest is reaching forward. My elbows are actually off the floor. They're not out to the side. They're hugging in. My shoulders are going wide. My shoulders are reaching back. My legs are still working. Oh, yeah, remember those. And I'm reaching forward. It's a deeper back bend. On the ding, we'll give you 30 seconds. I'll give you 30 seconds of a relax. Okay. Reaching, stretching. Pull the belly in. Pull the rib cage back. Let the elbows go wide. Turn the head to the other side. And breathe. Okay. Beautifully done. On the ding, we're going to come into a low cobra. So you can come up if you want to watch. The low cobra, the hands come back. They're alongside the chest, underneath the shoulders. The shoulders don't roll forward. They lift. Low cobra, you're just pushing into those hands. Now, instead of them pulling back, they're pushing down and forward to help lift you up. Now reach and squeeze those legs. Reach the toes. Chest comes forward. Now that's Opposition, can you feel the hands reaching forward? To reach the chest forward, you almost want to pull the hands back. So now pull them back. Push them forward. Pull them back and notice the difference. Hugging the waistline, hugging the rib cage. Bring the elbows out. Turn the head to the other side, right? And release. Breathing deeply. This next one, we'll grab our feet. Okay, you are welcome to not if you can't reach them. Okay, so when you're ready, start working your way in. Bend one knee, reach around and grab. You can totally grab a belt to help you, a strap, a towel. You're going to grab both of them. See my shoulders roll forward? Bend the elbows and lift them up, okay? You're going to just stay right here. It's not much of a back bend, okay? We're not reaching up at all. We're squeezing the block. We're just barely lifting the shoulders off the ground. Breathe. It's a modification. I'm not letting my knees go wide. I'm hugging those in. If I go wide with my knees, I'm in my low back. So lengthen, okay? Breathe. Release. Elbows out. Turn the head to the other side. And then push yourself back into a child's pose. If you've got a block in between, that is all we're doing on those. Those are some of the simplest back bends. Okay, so stretch back into child's pose. Reaching, feel that low back. You have worked it. You've worked the mid back. You've worked the upper back. Okay, I'm going to come face forward. Will you take your fingers as wide as your mat? Okay, you're going to come down, take your knees out to the side. They're going wide as well. Your elbows and shoulders stay in line. Okay, your shoulders aren't going to dip below that. They're staying right there. And reach your chest towards the carpet or towards the mat. Keeping those shoulders up, so those shoulders are reaching up while your chest is pushing down. This is one of the best things you can do. And then bring the knees, come up, push in, bring knees in, round it again. We're going to do a sequence of warrior salutes to round and open. Okay, we're working on our backs. It's kind of an overall body today. So go ahead and turn and face. You probably didn't turn. Downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the right leg, bring it all the way through, regular lunge. Come all the way up. Stretch and reach. We're holding it for 30 seconds. Back thigh is lifting. Front shin. Notice the difference over that first one we did. It's like, oh, geez, I can hold this for a bit. Your body is warm, right? This knee comes 6 inches from that heel. Warrior salutes. Breathe, stretch, maybe a little back bend. Yeah, bring the heel or the knee. Take the round. Oh, yeah, tighten that up. Maybe you move a little side to side. You're pushing into the heel and the shin, reaching as tall as you can. On the ding, we're going to back bend, okay? You've got just a few more seconds first, though. Stretch and reach. Oh, breathe. Come all the way up. Push into the heel. Push into the shin. Go straight first. You find all of that, and then start your back bend. Pushing into the shin. Reaching, pushing the heel down and forward. Lengthening back. From here, back to a warrior two. We haven't even done a warrior two yet today. Breathe. On the ding, hands to the mat. Step the back, the left foot back. Find your warrior two. Hold it. Your thigh will start burning. We've worked them today. Make sure this knee doesn't lock. Go ahead and reverse it a little. Maybe move this way a little. Remember these? We haven't done those for a while. But come in and hold. Parsvakonasana, wide angle forward fold on the ding. Oh, yeah. On the ding, downward facing dog and vinyasa facing that direction. Inhale, come part way out, feel those inner thighs. Exhale, fold it in and down. Take some deep breaths. Notice your breathing. Spin, plant the hands, downward facing dog. Inhale, high plank, chaturanga, into the couch. Curl it open. Downward facing dog. Beautifully done. On the ding, regular lift the left leg, regular lunge. Stretch, lengthen, breathe. Yeah, inhale, lift it. Open the hip, close it because you can and you know the difference. Step it forward, regular lunge. Come all the way up. Come down. Back thigh lifts. Front shin reaches. Come in. Notice the difference over the first one we did. Forward, these kind of lunges aren't my favorite, but they're so good for our bodies. So maybe you push into that heel and get a little back bend going on here. On the ding, the knee comes close to the heel, right? Breathe. Stretch. Come down maybe a little deeper, reaching that back thigh a little bit higher. I'm wondering if my ding's over. That's really long. Go ahead. I think that's an hour. Bring this foot. No, there it is. I'm just, yeah, whatever. Round it in. Stretch and reach. Pushing into the shin, pushing into the heel. Feel that work. The round, the curl. And celebrate that your spine, your body can do this. On the ding, back bend. Take it up, heel down, shin down. That was so funky. Did I have an extra ding on that one? Wow. Reach up, heel down, shin down. Find the lean back. We're going to step to a warrior two. Hands down, step back. You got to be close to being out of dings. That was so funky. Yeah, come down. Hold this pose. Love on this pose. Love on your body doing this pose, right? Reverse the warrior. Bring the forearm down. So this particular, I'm going to save to both Facebook and Instagram. All 10 toes face forward. Take that forward fold. Beautiful work. Plant the hands, lengthen the body. Fold it back in and down. Bring your knees, go ahead and face this other direction. Bring your knees down. Child's pose. Just checking my time, sorry. Yeah. Beautiful work. We're gonna hold these forward folds. We've got about 10 minutes, okay? Beautifully done. Go ahead. You've been working, okay? Will you just wiggle side to side? So I'm gonna, while you're just kind of shifting, when we sit on the floor and on a chair, okay? If some of you have been here a long time, you're kind of like, yeah, Debbie, we know. I know you know. As my dad said, and used to tell me as a teenager, you like to eat every day, don't you?
You like to breathe. Those things are repetitive. So are my instructions on sitting. Sit on the very edge, okay? You want that, remember that flat back that we had in a forward fold? We're gonna be forward folding, okay? So we still want that flat back. So put something underneath your hips. I technically don't need anything. I can take this out and sit perfectly. But what I've discovered, and I actually like to take it on the corner so that it's on the edge. I have discovered that if I sit my back, there's an ease that comes to it. Now, some of you might be going, yeah, I need like 10 blocks. Just fiddle with it for a little bit. Now, one of the things I have to watch is my knees because of my flexibility. They love. That's going to stop in just a minute, okay? That ding. So I have to really watch and make my knees. I'm not really, they are bending, okay? But I'm really trying to reach that shin up, almost like there's a string on the top of my shin reaching whichever direction the shins are facing, right? So I'm trying to do that. I am pushing my heels into the floor. This is Dandasana. We're just going to take a forward. It's just a forward fold. There we go. Take some deep breaths, okay? If while you're here, you find yourself, oh my gosh, Deb, I've got to get out of this. I can't stand this. Walk your hands back, inhale, come back up, and go back in, okay? We've been working, we've been moving. Don't know why it's doing that double beam. Breathing deeply. Some of you might say, well, it's hard to breathe folding over. It is. Let your back expand. Go ahead and walk your hands back. I don't know what's going on. Oh, Instagram. I'll start you over again. I'm back. I plan. No. Keep in that forward fold. I'm back, Instagram people. There you go. Paula. All right. Okay. Go ahead and slowly come up. We will do pigeon on our backs today. But before we go down, let's do just a wide angle. Okay, I'm going to turn and face you so you can see it. Feet together, knees are wide. Your knees are clear up here. Okay, at the same thing, we're seated, so the same thing happens. Put something underneath your bum. Get those sit bones up a little higher. Okay, get pillows. Get whatever you need to keep that so that they're resting. Okay, if those knees can't be flat where they can rest, then you want something underneath them. Okay, I have thighs that hit right here, and so I have those support. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, take that forward fold. Again, as always, okay, that feels really intense. You're coming up and you're coming back down. In yin yoga, this is called butterfly pose. Just saying. And walk yourself up. Nicely done. Where you take your hands on your outside of your thighs and move those in. Okay, beautifully. Okay, we're gonna just do two more, one each side. John, your Sirsasana, one leg in, the foot comes in here. Same principles apply. If you need something underneath that knee, grab it, right? You're going forward. So I want to apologize. I had some messages from people on Wednesday. I changed Wednesday morning class to Wednesday night class. This is the problem with me in the evenings. That's why I don't teach much in the evenings. It's like I got busy. We were doing dinner and chatting and reading a talk. Anyway, yeah, it was like 8:45, and I'm like, oops, I didn't teach. So sorry about that, guys. Um, I love doing it at night, but I usually do it by myself. So I will send it out, but I am liking this 8 o'clock time. Um, I think I'm gonna go. That means I'll have to change some of my little pictures that say 9:30, but I think it'll be 8 o'clock. I've had some people ask, but and I mentioned this earlier. I just have loved my study time in bed. That doesn't mean I'm sleeping, although sometimes I have to come all the way up and change lights. As you go into these poses, okay, I hope you're understanding and you're feeling and you're kind of celebrating how the wonder of your body. It's an amazing gift. Um, we have this capacity to do so much, to shift and change. Okay. We sometimes struggle so much to look for the good that we find. We, we easily find the things that hurt, the things that we don't think are perfect. As you breathe, even that stretch you're feeling in the hamstring, right? Maybe behind the knee a little bit. If it's behind the knee, bend your knee a little bit more. Yeah, get it out of the behind the knee. You can tell my husband forgot to shut his office door. It's too late. I'm not going to go tell him today. Come all the way up. Go ahead and work your way onto your back. Happy baby. Okay, knees come into your armpits or close, or as close as you can get them. Okay, they just work their way down. There is not much pressure on these hands, but their hands are there, so there's a little bit of pressure. It's more gravitational. Okay, as those knees come down, okay, now you're going to push your feet back up. Okay, that will give you a little bit of an inner thigh stretch. Would you also hug the knees in a little bit and then let them go wide? And hug them in and just notice that. This right foot comes across. You can reach through here. One of the reasons I don't teach it this way is because a lot of people have to do this to get it. If you're having to do that, see if you can come down and just pull this leg in. So I'm going to turn around and show you on the couch. You can totally do this, and then you can get your body to be long. So if you bring, I'm hoping it doesn't move, your foot there and here, you can totally scoot closer, but you're trying to keep your hips down. Okay, this way I'm not straining with my shoulders. Okay, I'm keeping down so that the stretch is in my hips, but I am trying. And so you don't get close enough that the hips curl up like this on that wall. Okay, so you're just finding that place. Go ahead and switch side to side and then switch legs. Beautiful work today. Didn't really have a ton of focus other than, this will probably always be one of my focuses, is this idea and the beauty of our bodies. Okay, you're doing amazing things with them. And go ahead, release that. Take a twist both directions as the knees go right, your gaze goes left. Instead of just trying to reach the shoulder, if that's a strain at all, grab your hand on your rib cage and pull the rib cage over, and then your shoulder will automatically go. And just twist. I put one hand there. Bring the knees up. They go back to the other side. And this one, I do rib cage. Oh, yeah. I love that rib cage stretch. Take some deep breaths. And work your way into Shavasana. Okay, dead corpse pose. Please, please, please make yourself, if you want some of those go-getters, make yourself pause. Take a couple of breaths. Feel every aspect of your body. How good it feels. If you're getting chilly because you've been sweaty, put a sweatshirt on or your shirt back on, a blanket, socks, okay? This is your time to let the gravitational pull, just let your body cradle into that. All day long, we're reaching against. And as we age, I'm finding that it's not reaching against as much anymore. So really just take a couple of breaths. Let your body relax. I'm going to leave you here today. So go ahead and stay here for just a minute longer if you have the time. Take some more deep breaths. Pretty soon, even not functioning on your focus on your breath, let everything go. For just a moment, let everything go. Every need to be a certain place, to be a certain way, to do a certain thing, letting gravity just cradle you. There is so much good just going on when you're doing nothing. Have a wonderful weekend.